So I was putting off making this update because it's not the answer that I wanted. I wanted a nice little bow, and that's not what happened. So at the beginning of December, Carter had her repeat MRI, and what was found was that there was normal growth for her age. So she did catch up a bit from where she was last year, her MRI to where she is this year on her MRI, meaning she grew tissue. She is not so far behind as she was, and definitely not as far behind enough that it would qualify a diagnosis for cerebral palsy. So honestly, I got the call and I was super confused, and I had the neurologist call me and I was like, what do we do? Because if she doesn't have cerebral palsy, she still has all these symptoms, and what's the next step? So the next step was genetic testing, which I sort of already knew, and so I did that part already. So the same time that Carter was doing her MRI, I went and met with a genetics specialist and did blood testing to find out about genetics for me that could be affecting Carter, and I was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos hypermobility, and I'm on the watch list for the cardioversion because I have several of those indicators as well. So that could also be something that is causing symptoms for Carter, and it could also be some other developmental issues we're talking to her developmental doctors about, and things like that. Now, it is super duper important to remember that this diagnosis thing, I'm not hung up on the diagnosis part. I know that the diagnosis is just a word, but in the world that we live in, the insurance likes us to have a diagnosis. So we don't currently get insurance help with things like chiropractic, physical therapy, occupational therapy for Carter because she does not have a diagnosis, even though everyone who has ever seen her says that she does in fact need those services. And since I have now been diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos, which is a connective tissue disorder, it helps me be able to go to the chiropractor and do physical therapy and things like that. But what it really does is just give an answer for a bunch of random things that were going wrong in my body, and we still do not have really like an answer for all the things going on in Carter's body besides prematurity. The way that you would care for her is exactly the same. So Carter being diagnosed with anything is not going to change the fact that she needs physical therapy, she needs occupational therapy, she needs speech therapy. All of those things are going to help her figure out who she is and how to handle her own body. The diagnosis part is just like more medical help on our side. It's easier for paperwork and to see specialists and things like that. For going forward, we know that we still need her to be in those therapies and to do that work. That's not changing. What we do want to make sure of is that she's not deficient in anything, because Ehlers-Danlos is a deficiency disorder also. I personally am deficient in collagen, obviously, but iron, B12, magnesium, and D3. Pretty moderately deficient as well, too. I'm taking a lot of extra supplements. So that could be something that we need to work on for Carter, which would be a blood test and a genetics test to kind of move forward with that. So that's kind of where we are. There's no big bow. There is just, we got a little bit of information on me, and we got some information on Carter, not as much as we would have wanted, and we're just gonna keep moving forward. It's gonna be fine.